There's big news coming in. The Supreme Court has decided to constitute a 5-member committee in the Adani matter. That's the latest that we are hearing. It is a 5-member committee. It is going to be headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice AM Sapre. What is going to be the mandate of this committee? Let's go across to Aishwarya joining us live now. What is going to be the ambit within which this committee is going to function, and when is the report expected, Aishwarya?
Audio.
Aishwarya, can you hear me? All right. The committee is directed to submit its report within 2 months in a sealed cover. The Supreme Court has also allowed the continuance of the SEBI probe into Hindenburg report-led meltdown of Adani Group shares and said that it will be supervised by a Supreme Court appointed 5-member panel. Who all are in the panel? It's Justice J.P. Devdhar, K.V. Kamath, Nandan Nilekani, Somashekar Sundaresan, and O.P. Bhatt. So here is the big news point that SEBI is going to continue with its probe, and the supervisory role has been given to a 5-member committee which has been formed by the Supreme Court. It's important to remember that earlier the centre had given recommendations of names for this committee in a sealed cover. The Supreme Court said 2 things. One, we don't want anything in a sealed cover because we want there to be complete transparency so that there is no crisis of confidence. Second, they said we don't need your recommendation only. We are going to decide on our own who is going to be a member of this panel. And now a 5-member panel has been constituted. I believe Aishwarya is through with us now. We are also expecting Harish. All right, let's go across to Harish. Harish, yes, give us all the details. What's the mandate?
Yes, in fact, the Supreme Court has formed a 5-member committee, including experts from the field of share and security and international banking and also SEBI. And that 5-member committee will be headed by former retired Supreme Court Judge AM Sapre. And the committee has been directed to submit its reports within 2 months in a sealed cover. So Supreme Court has allowed continuance of the SEBI probe into the Hindenburg report-led meltdown of the Adani Group shares and said it will be supervised by this committee. And the mandate is, the Supreme Court said that it appears that SEBI is seized into the investigation into the allegations that have made against the Adani Group of company. SEBI shall also investigate into whether there has been violation of Section 19A, whether there was any manipulation of stock prices. SEBI shall conclude the investigation within 2 months and apprise the court. The constitution of the expert committee does not divulge the SEBI's role into the investigation. And remember, Padmaja, on the last date of hearing, Supreme Court had said that for the time being, it will not go into the demands of a criminal probe, but for the time being, the interest of the investors is supreme. Therefore, we would like to the committee to review, improve and strengthen the regulatory mechanism and also ensure that investors' hard-earned money does not get lost in such market volatilities, and that should be prevented. So
this is big news. Within 2 months, the probe report has to be submitted. SEBI is going to continue with its investigation into whether there was any manipulation, and all of this will be done under the supervision of a 5-member committee which has been formed independent of government recommendations by the Supreme Court. Hopefully that should address a lot of concerns that have been raised in the recent past. Taking another very quick break. On the other side,